Welcome to Dark Cinema. Every summoning guide on this channel begins with the working already prepared, the circle drawn, the tools consecrated, the operator ready. Today we go back one step further, to the preparation the grimoires demand before any spirit is ever called, the cleansing of the operator, the space, and the working itself. Skip this, and the tradition is unanimous. Nothing else you do will hold. The Lesser Key of Solomon does not treat purification as optional. The operator is instructed to be clean of body, clothed in clean garments, and abstinent in the days before the working. The 17th century texts inherited this from far older sources, the ritual purity codes that run through every Western esoteric tradition. The logic is consistent. A spirit is called into a prepared vessel, and the first vessel is you. The Book of Abramelin takes preparation furthest of any grimoire. Its full operation demands months of purification before the operator attempts contact. Daily washing, clean white garments, a dedicated space kept apart from ordinary life, abstinence from excess in food, drink, and company. The Abramelin's principle scales down to any working. The degree of your preparation is the degree of your authority. Begin with the body. The tradition prescribes a full bath before any working, not symbolic, actual. Many operators add consecrated salt or hyssop to the water, following the formula of Psalm 51 that appears throughout the grimoire tradition. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Bathe with the working in mind. The bath is the boundary between ordinary time and ritual time. Clean garments follow, white where the tradition can be followed fully, plain and reserved for ritual use at minimum. The Gotia describes the vestments of the art, a white linen robe, clean and consecrated. What matters beneath the specifics is separation. These are clothes that exist for the working and nothing else. The moment you put them on, you are no longer in your ordinary life. The space is cleansed next, and here the primary instrument is smoke. Frankincense is the universal purifier of the Western tradition. The Picatrix, Agrippa, and the Church all agree on this single point. Burn it generously through the entire working space before anything is drawn on the floor. Carry the censer to the corners of the room. The smoke does two things in the doctrine. It drives out what lingers, and it prepares the air for what comes. The Picatrix adds precision. The cleansing suffumigation should match the day and hour of the working where possible. Solar workings cleanse with frankincense and laurel, lunar workings with jasmine and camphor. Where the correspondence cannot be followed, frankincense alone suffices. The texts treat it as acceptable in every operation. Physical cleaning precedes ritual cleansing. The grimoire tradition assumes a swept, ordered space. The circle of Solomon is drawn on a clean floor. Sweep or wash the floor before the working. Some operators wash it with salt water, moving from the farthest corner toward the door, carrying out what is removed. Order in the space produces order in the working, then the banishing. Before the divine names are inscribed and the circle constructed, the space is claimed. The simplest form in the tradition: stand at the center of the space, face east, and recite the divine names aloud. Tetragrammaton, Adonai, Agla, Sabaoth, turning to each quarter in sequence, east, south, west, north. You are announcing the authority under which the working proceeds to anything that might be listening. Agrippa devotes chapters to why this works. In the 3 books of occult philosophy, the spoken divine name is not a label, but an operation. The name carries the power it names. Spoken with intention at the quarters, the names establish a jurisdiction. The later ceremonial tradition built elaborate banishing rituals on this foundation, but the grimoire core is exactly this simple: the names, the quarters, the declared intention. Salt and water form the second instrument of banishing. Consecrated salt dissolved in clean water, sprinkled at the boundaries of the space, the doorways, the windows, the corners. The formula in the tradition blesses each element first. The salt as the body of the earth, the water as the substance of purification. Combined, they mark the physical boundary that the smoke and the names have established in the air. The mind is cleansed last, and the grimoires are practical about it. The Gotia instructs the operator to be free of distraction and firm in purpose. In practice, before the working, sit in the prepared space in silence. Review your written petition. Set aside the concerns of the day deliberately. Some operators write them on a slip of paper and set it outside the room to be collected when the working is closed. Enter the working with one purpose, not many. The days before a major working carry their own discipline. The Abramelin prescribes abstinence from heavy food, from intoxication, from conflict. The operator approaches the working rested and clear. This is not moralism, it is instrumentation. The grimoires treat the operator's state as a working tool, maintained like the ring or the pentagram. Cleansing also closes the working. After the license to depart, after the circle is closed, the space is returned to ordinary use deliberately. Air the room, dispose of offerings respectfully, wash the vessels. The boundary between ritual time and ordinary time is crossed twice in every working, and the tradition guards both crossings with equal care. Primary sources for the Purification tradition, the Lesser Key of Solomon for the requirements of the Goetic working itself, the Book of Abramelin for the deepest treatment of operator preparation, Agrippa's 3 books of occult philosophy on the power of divine names and consecrated substances, the Picatrix for suffumigation and correspondence. The instructions are scattered through these texts, but they agree with one another to a remarkable degree. That is the cleansing and preparation that stands before every working on this channel. Master it, and every summoning guide we publish becomes available to you as the tradition intended, performed from a prepared space by a prepared operator. Subscribe to Dark Cinema for more grimoire-accurate guides. Keep your circle closed, your will clear, and your intentions pure.